Hello, this is Mike at GameFromScratch, and there's been some breaking news that may be of some importance to game developers around the world, especially in the indie space, or it may be absolutely nothing. Depends on how this one turns out. But basically, Facebook is, from the looks of things, coming up with and trying to create a Steam competitor. Now, I am by no means the biggest advocate for Facebook. In fact, Facebook is pretty much anathema to me. I do not like Facebook. It does not serve much purpose in my life. But as a game developer, I do have to acknowledge that it was once a major player in the casual space. This is where pretty much the major developers in the world of mobile, Candy Crushes, Clash of Kings, those kind of games, they all started life as Facebook games. Now, it's lost its prominence, but it's still an area where developers are making a pretty substantial amount of money making and hosting Facebook games. So their move into Steam space, Steam being, of course, the #1 PC marketplace for sure by miles over competitors such as Good Old Games, etc., is a big deal. Now, everybody likes Steam for the most part, and I'm kind of in that boat too, but more competition is a good thing. And you know, fault Facebook as much as you want. They've always had a pretty good relationship with developers. So this could, in fact, be a good thing. They're actually claiming out they paid out $2.5 billion paid out to Facebook game developers last year. So this is not small potatoes we're talking about here. This is a rather sizable marketplace. Now, of course, you think Facebook, this is going to cater towards casual games. And you know, initially, of course, it is. Now, what I hate about this particular report I'm about to give to you is that, and I have to acknowledge this because the primary source is, in fact, TechCrunch. TechCrunch is basically the TMZ of tech news. So I'm not a huge fan, but they do probably have the most details of this. Facebook and Unity, which I'll get back to in a second, are playing their cards very close to the vest on this one. And we will revisit that in a second. But basically, as TechCrunch reported, it's going to run on different types of PCs, not just Windows. So basically, it's going to be on Mac and probably or possibly Linux. Desktop platform provides distraction-free gaming environment uncluttered by Facebook features like Newsfeed. So basically, they stripped out the Facebook part of Facebook. So you're using just the game, the leaderboard, the sharing, and etc. but in a client. And we'll get back to that client in a second. And it'll support traditional casual Facebook games, mobile games ported from iOS and Android, and Unity says it will support more immersive hardcore games like you see on Steam or consoles. We're going to get back to Unity in a second. Don't worry about that. So basically, there is a plan to go and focus on hardcore games a bit more. Now, it should be pointed out right now, of course, that Facebook does own Oculus. So the Oculus Rift is Facebook's technology. Oculus's store is kind of crap. They've already started seeing Steam through a hack becoming a more popular place to buy VR apps. So I wouldn't be surprised that this is also being driven a little bit by the Oculus. So there are plans to bring this to more hardcore or traditional PC games, not just casual space. But the truth of the matter is, with the rise of mobile and Facebook itself, casual is a pretty bloody big marketplace as it stands now. Now, the big thing is it will offer discoverability so gamers can find titles to play. This is where iOS and Android App Store both suck bad. So if Facebook does discoverability well, this is a great opportunity for small or indie developers to get exposure on this app store. So this is where they could make things huge. Now keep in mind, King, that was purchased for multiple billions of dollars by Blizzard or Activision a couple years back, they started as a Facebook developer. So this is not small potatoes again. This is a big deal potentially. And revenue split will be announced. Chances are it'll be the standard 30% that we've seen, but that's just basically TechCrunch talking out their ass. There's no evidence or anything to come out of that. Now, there's a few things I said I was going to come back to, and I shall come back to them now. The first one was the mention of Unity, and that's sort of what drove this news. Unity just published a post basically saying that Unity 5.4 games can be published directly to Facebook Games platform for Windows. Notice that for Windows. And the Facebook Games platform is a rebranding of something that's called Facebook Arcade. It's a downloadable client that allows you to run games in it. Basically, it's Steam Lite at this point in time. And it is in beta, but it is all being rebranded with the unwieldy name of Facebook Games Platform for Windows, and this is going to allow you to take your Unity game and publish it directly into Facebook's platform, like you could potentially for Steam. Now you're also going to get direct integration with all of the Facebook SDKs, like there is available now through Unity, but as a third-party kind of extension. That's all going to be built in now. So basically you're going to be able to publish and exploit the Facebook platform that's coming out, and Facebook services, again, such as friends list, leaderboards, etc., directly from Unity. So you publish your game to the platform directly from here, no jumping through hoops or anything else. Now there are reasons why this is remarkably vague in details right now. First off, there is a sign up that's available till August 31. It's in beta and they are selecting developers. I have no idea the criteria in here, but in order to sign up, you have to sign an NDA. So don't expect a lot more details to come out anytime soon because you are under NDA. Now, one of the big things here, though, is it is not an exclusive deal. They actually came back out and clarified their text. At first, it made it sound like you had to publish exclusively to the Facebook platform. That is not the case. So if you are interested in this program and you are a Unity developer, again, you have until the end of this month, so the end of August, so let's see, about a week and a half to sign up for this if you are interested. Now the sign up form is pretty straightforward. Here you can see it, and that's it. Basically, genre your game is, what is the DAU of your game? I don't know what that acronym means. Link to your game, actually now I need to find this out. DAU acronym. Daily active users. I guess I should have probably known that one. Link to your game if it's already created. Do you build with Unity? Is your game built in WebGL? And that's it. So they're not looking for a whole lot of details about who they're actually picking to actually work in this system. But again, once you're in there, you are NDA'd. So we're not going to see a lot more details leaking out unless people break NDA to tell us what this is all about. But if you do want an idea of where they're going with this, check out the Facebook Games Arcade. Again, I believe it's in beta, and I don't believe I'm actually allowed to download and share it with you. I think it's not NDA, but I don't believe I'm allowed to do video on it, and I don't want to risk a takedown or anything, so I'm not going to grab this guy myself. But it is publicly available. There's no wait list or anything. This will download the app directly. So this is what ultimately the Facebook Games platform is based around, is this Facebook Arcade. Is this a big deal? It's hard to say. This could turn into a new market, and if they nail this last part, if they nail this part that I've got bolded right here, sorry, not that one, that one. This is where indie developers suffer more than anything in the world right now on the App Store and on the iTunes Store. The number one problem most indie developers are having is any kind of exposure, and both of them did a terrible job at app discoverability. So if Facebook does this well, and to be honest, this is one of those areas Facebook has always kind of shined, this could represent a new and rather large marketplace. Again, it's very early. You could also argue, what do they bring to the table? They've got a somewhat dwindling user base, but they still have a massive user base. And Facebook has been flirting with games for a while. They have a publishing system available, so you can use Facebook as your publisher and some of the perks and promotional materials on the Facebook network that come with it. So this isn't new to them. And they do have billions upon billions of dollars to work with. So if they're serious about the gaming space, and as I said earlier, their $4.5 billion acquisition of Oculus leads me to believe that they are pretty serious about this. This could be a viable alternative to Steam eventually. The beginnings is going to be probably a lot more like the Windows App Store, full of Candy Crush and Candy Crush clones. But if they are serious about pursuing the PC market, and they do bring something unique to the table, and they do make discoverability work, and it's non-exclusive, and the royalty payout is solid, etc., this is something that most indie game developers should definitely keep an eye out. Now, if you're working on a Unity 5.4 or higher game right now, and you've got nothing else to lose, I would actually recommend being and filling out this form. Now, one of those things that isn't talked about much, but there is often a very big advantage to being a first adopter. So if you go on a platform such as, let's say you were one of the first people with a game on the Oculus Gear VR store. And Gear VR shipped, say, 1 million units, which is peanuts compared to, the PCs out there or the various consoles shipped. But if you're one of the very first games in that store, you're going to get all those people that brought home this device and are dying to play something on it. And there is a lot of value in being one of the first published games on an app store like that. So if you are doing it anyways, I would really highly recommend you check this program out. Now, it could turn out that after you sign the NDA, you look at it and go, ugh, this is awful. And then, we won't know. That is the downside to an NDA. It is somewhat hidden from us. But again, the key thing I've got to tell you is that the deadline on this guy is August the 31st to apply, not to actually publish or do anything else. But, if you want to be in on this list, then you have until that period of time to get potentially considered as part of the beta. And that was it. Definitely some interesting news. They're a long ways away from being, a threat to Steam. But, more options, more stores, with a PC focus, it could be great. And to see them focusing, one of the good things about this actual move is they're partnering with Unity to make it seamless. And if I can fault Steam for something, integrating Steam into games hasn't been as easy as it should be. They're kind of like, here's the tools, now piss off and make it work, if that even. So the fact that Facebook is taking a developer first approach to it, that they're announcing this system basically through a game engine technology partner, that's kind of an encouraging sign that they do have developers in mind. And as I said earlier, Facebook's developer program has been it's mature and it's pretty solid. I worked with them in the past with a startup I worked on before. And, the experience is not horrid. It's not like Twitter. It was actually a pretty solid experience for the most part. They've got their crap together. It's they understand working with developers. So this could be a great thing, or it could be absolutely nothing, but I figured I'd share it anyways. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And, if you enjoyed this, please do click like. And if you're interested in all kinds of game dev news, technology reviews, tutorials, we got all kinds. So do please click that subscribe button. All right, see y'all later. Goodbye.